All right, boys and girls. So today we're going to learn about multiplying by 11. So we're going past 10, which we haven't done so far this year. We should have hopefully memorized all your single digit multiplication facts or have gotten pretty close to memorizing them, especially if we're going into fourth grade. There's once you get past those single digits, things get a little bit more complicated. However, the multiplying by tens are pretty easy, and then also there's a trick for the multiplying by 11. So right now we're going to just kind of take a look at what happens when you multiply a number by 11. We'll work with the lower numbers, the single digits and lower double digit numbers, and take a look and see what happens. So let's see. Here we go. 1 times 11 equals 11. So I'm going to show you with base 10 blocks as we're doing this. So there's a 10 and there's a 1. So that makes 11. That was one set of 11. 1 times 11. So you probably already knew that, hopefully. So now we're going to move on. We'll show you what 2 times 11 is. And you guys are pretty good at doubling. So it probably wouldn't be too tricky for you to double an 11. You know, there's 2 10s and 2 1s, so 22. Okay, so we have 1 times 11 is 11. 2 times 11 is 22. Some of you guys, if you don't know the trick already, are probably shouting at your computer right now what the next one is going to be because you are such a good mathematician. And if you don't know the trick, you probably will know it after this. So 3 times 11, we have 3 10s and 3 1s. So you guessed it, Shirty Tree. That's Mr. D's favorite number. Well, that and 12. Okay, so you hopefully have noticed by now that these single digits, when we're multiplying by 11, all we're doing is duplicating the factor that you're multiplying by 11. We duplicated the 1, put it in the tens place and the ones place. We're duplicating the 2, so the product has a 2 in the tens place and a 2 in the ones place. Same with the 3. So I don't think I need to make any more of these models to show you that 4 times 11 is 44. Or 5 times 11 is 55. Okay, so we'll kind of skip ahead. 9 times 11, you guessed it, 99. One of the mistakes a lot of kids make is they'll say, oh, 10 times 11, that's easy. Problem is there's no number 10d10. So the easy street, or this pattern right here at least, stops after 9 times 11. So that was actually incorrect. You can't do that pattern anymore once you get to 11 times a double-digit number. So for this one, when I look at this, I'm licking my chops because I see it's times 10. And times 10, that's that easy trick where you take the number that you're multiplying by the 10, and you're shifting it over one place value and putting a 0 in the ones place. But I want to show what that looks like from the 11's perspective, the way what we've been doing these arrays. So I'm going to build this one. I think I have, let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I have too many. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. And now I'm going to put on the ones for each one of these 10s. So you can see that I have 10 rows. When I'm done, I will have 10 rows of 11s. 2, 4, 6, 8. I need 2 more. I shifted that up. Doesn't have to be perfect though, right? Okay. Try to be neat, but sometimes it's not that easy, especially on a mouse pad. Okay, so there are 10 10s and there are 10 1s. Okay, so if you've done work with base 10 blocks, which I'm assuming most of you have, you know that when you get to 10 of these longs, these 10s, you can actually link them together once you've reached 10, and you can exchange. So I'm going to kind of link all these together, and what happens is when you get to 10 of them, they make that same square shape of our buddy Mr. Green square over here, who is worth 100. So I'm going to delete these in exchange for just simply one of these greens. Also, we have 10 1s. So I'm going to delete these 10 1s because these are now worth one of these blue pieces. So I'll turn my column of 1s into a bar, a 10. Okay, so that would be, we have our 10 rows going that way, and then on top we have a 10, then we also have a 1 going down. And the answer to this, if we multiplied 10 times 11, well, we have 100 when we do the 10 times the 10, and then when we do for the rest, the 10 times the 1 is worth a 10 also right here. So it's 110. Now, if you knew the tens trick, you already knew it's basically 11 and a 0, right? So let's do one more here. Let's do the same thing we did up there for this one. It's 11 times 11. So I'm going to actually steal my model from up here. Let me move that out of here. I'm going to borrow from here to save us some time. Okay, so that was 10 times 11. 11's across the top, 10's down the side. So in order to make another 11, we'll just keep adding just how we were in the beginning, an 11, and just kind of tack it onto the bottom like this. Okay, so now what we have is a 10 rows, and then another row, so 11 going down the side, and then we have 10 columns, and then an extra column for that 11th one going this way. So you can see it's 11 times 11. 11 times, right? So what you would just do simply is tally this all up. This is 100. This one's worth 10. This one's worth 10. And this one is worth 1. So it's 100 plus 10 is 110, 120, 121. So 11 times 11 is 121. So that's just a cool way of picturing some double-digit multiplication and learning about your 11s trick. When it's times a single-digit number, you're simply duplicating it. When it's times 10, you can one way you could just write the 11 and then put the 0 in the ones place, so everything gets kind of shifted over a place value. And then 11 times 11, some kids will think about 110 plus 11 is 121. Or you can think about and create your array over here using your base 10 blocks. So hopefully that was helpful. If you get mixed up or confused, go ahead and review this video, rewind it, fast forward it, do what you have to do. Good luck today, and thanks for listening.